12 years ago, the economic freedom fighters were born in the fires of political rebellion, defiance, and frustration with the status quo. What began as a daring and controversial breakaway movement led by Julius Malema has since evolved into one of South Africa's most influential political forces. This week, in the symbolic and politically loaded city of Cape Town, the EFF marked its 12th anniversary, not just with celebration, but with a powerful statement of presence, resilience, and ambition. The Red Berets gathered in their thousands to honor a party that has not only survived attacks, scandals, and skepticism but has grown into a national force capable of shaping debates and swinging elections. In a political climate defined by coalitions, uncertainty, and shifting alliances, the EFF used this occasion to declare that their revolution is alive, their message is louder, and their journey is far from over. It's not just a birthday, it's a reckoning. 12 years ago, a fiery movement was born from political disillusionment, youth frustration, and the dream of radical economic transformation. Today, that movement, the Economic Freedom Fighters, celebrates its 12th birthday in the heart of Cape Town, a city often symbolizing the very inequalities the EFF has vowed to dismantle. What started as a controversial breakaway led by defiant Julius Malema has become one of South Africa's most vocal and influential political forces. The EFF's birthday rally is more than a celebration, it is a reflection on struggle, survival, and growth in the country's turbulent democratic journey. From its inception, the EFF has refused to blend into the political establishment. Clad in red overalls and berets, their members disrupted parliament, shook up municipal politics, and injected the language of revolution into a discourse that had grown stale with compromise. Their critics called them populists, agitators, or even dangerous radicals, but none could deny their rising influence or their appeal to a generation hungry for change. 12 years later, the party has seats in every legislature, controls municipalities, and commands attention far beyond its size. This 12th anniversary celebration in Cape Town is symbolic on many levels. Cape Town represents wealth, power, and beauty, but also legacy, division, and inequality. Hosting their birthday in this city sends a clear message: the EFF is not retreating to its strongholds, it's claiming national space. The party chose to gather in a city long dominated by opposition politics, and they arrived with a message that their red tide is not only enduring but expanding. Julius Malema took the stage to thunderous applause, flanked by party veterans and a sea of red. He spoke not only as a leader but as a survivor, someone who has faced political exile, criminal charges, media onslaughts, and personal losses, yet remained defiant. His speech blended nostalgia with vision, acknowledging the difficult road the EFF has walked while promising an even more radical future. "We are the children of the struggle, and we have made struggle fashionable again," he declared. "We have survived attempts to kill this movement, and now we are growing because the people see hope in us." Malema's address touched on all the familiar themes: land expropriation without compensation, nationalization of key industries, free education, economic justice, but this time, the words felt heavier. With the political landscape shifting after the 2024 general elections and the rise of coalition governance, the EFF finds itself as a keymaker in some instances and a persistent thorn in the side of others. It has proven it can do more than protest, it can negotiate, govern, and influence policy, even if from the opposition benches. The 12th birthday is also a moment of reckoning. The party's supporters remain passionate, but the country is more complex now than it was in 2013. Unemployment is stubbornly high, the cost of living is rising, and service delivery continues to fail many communities. The EFF now faces the challenge of showing that its rhetoric can translate into real change. In municipalities where it has influence, it must deliver results, not just slogans. Still, the EFF's journey is marked by undeniable achievements. It has changed the tone and content of national debates. Discussions around land, economic justice, and structural racism are more mainstream now than they were before the EFF's rise. It has also carved out space for a new generation of leaders, young, black, unapologetic, and willing to speak truth to power, even if it means walking out of parliament or facing arrest. The EFF has shown that protest is a legitimate form of politics and that dignity in poverty is not enough, real change is necessary. The celebrations in Cape Town were not only political, they were cultural, emotional, and deeply symbolic. Music, poetry, dance, and speeches from activists and youth leaders highlighted the movement's identity as both a political party and a cultural force. This is a party that draws from the rich history of African resistance, from the speeches of Frantz Fanon to the rhythms of revolutionary songs. It celebrates its past while imagining a radical future. The thousands in attendance reflected the EFF's diverse base, young and old, rural and urban, unemployed and working class, students and professionals. Many traveled long distances to be part of the moment. Their voices echoed a common refrain: the EFF speaks for us when no one else does. For these supporters, the red beret is not just a symbol, it is armor against exclusion, inequality, and silence. Julius Malema was not alone in capturing the crowd's attention. EFF Deputy President Floyd Shivambu, Secretary General Marshall Dlamini, and other leaders addressed the crowd with passion and purpose. They spoke of betrayal by the ruling party, the failures of neoliberalism, and the need for radical solutions. But they also emphasized unity, discipline, and strategy. The EFF does not only want to grow, it wants to govern. There is also a broader message the EFF is sending with this celebration: we are not going anywhere. After 12 years, in a political environment where movements often fade or fracture, the EFF remains solid, organized, and energized. It has faced internal and external challenges but emerged more focused. It continues to attract young people disillusioned by traditional politics and gives them a platform to act. As the country looks to local government elections and the possibility of more national coalitions in the future, the EFF is poised to play a critical role. Its ability to disrupt, mobilize, and negotiate makes it a central player in South Africa's evolving democracy. The question now is whether it can move from the politics of protest to the politics of delivery without losing its soul. For now, however, the focus is on celebration. The red flags wave proudly in Cape Town. The music blares, the speeches inspire, and the people cheer, not just for what the EFF has been, but for what it might become. It is a celebration of resilience, relevance, and revolutionary spirit. As the EFF wraps up its 12th birthday celebrations, one thing is clear: this is not just a party, it's a statement of intent. The Red Berets are charging ahead, louder and more determined than ever. Whether you support or oppose them, you can't ignore them. Make sure to subscribe to stay updated on this bold movement shaping South Africa's future, because the next chapter is just beginning.